about pelvic floor activation, or in other words, Kegels, we don't want to just squeeze as hard as you can. So that gentle activation is kind of a better way to coordinate those pelvic floor muscles. So I usually tell people to squeeze as much as you can, but then kind of, so that's your 100%, but then kind of back off to about 50%, and that's where you should squeeze to. So in doing a Kegel or a pelvic floor activation or contraction, you're trying to activate those muscles that keep you from urinating, or keep you from leaking urine or leaking gas. So you're kind of pulling up and in. But again, about a 50% contraction. You can also do it using like an elevator method. So going like starting at first floor is at your resting state, and then going up to second floor, which is like 25%, third floor is 50%, fourth floor is 75%, and fifth floor is 100%. But then we want to start by actually going down to the basement first. So when you are doing pelvic floor activation, you want to start with a nice deep inhale, that 360-degree breath, to get that pelvic floor to relax first. So you're kind of starting at the basement, and then as you exhale, you're pulling up into first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. You won't be able to see my pelvic floor, but you'll be able to see my abdominals that are kind of working with it. So again, you're going to start with that deep inhale, that 360-degree breath. So you should feel your pelvic floor muscles kind of descend a little bit, or relax a little bit, or kind of bulge out a little bit. You shouldn't be bearing down or pushing them out with the inhale, but you should feel some relaxation there, some movement there outward. So you're going to breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you're pulling in gently. And you will actually feel some abdominals working with that as well. And that deep core muscle, it's your deepest abdominal muscle. It's called your transversus abdominis muscle, and it works with your pelvic floor muscles. It kind of coordinates with them, again, to kind of stabilize that pelvis. But you will feel some deep abdominals working as well. And to try to kind of isolate that TA more, you can perform a little bit of a pelvic floor contraction. But if you're having pelvic floor tension, I tend to go with just the transversus abdominis and not worry so much about the pelvic floor activation in the beginning until we can get some good relaxation. But trying to act as though you're bringing your two pelvic bone muscles, so you can feel those muscles on the front of your pelvis, and try to imagine you're pulling those together, and that will help you activate your deep abdominal muscle called your transversus abdominis, or your TA. So again, you're going to coordinate with that with your breath. So you're going to breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you're pulling that in, and you should feel a little bit of tension underneath your fingers, right inside those bones when you pull in there. So that's how you activate that deep abdominal muscle that helps, that coordinates with your pelvic floor muscle and helps stabilize and support your spine and your pelvis.